People have been collecting things from the beginning of time, things that they enjoyed. Am I the only one that had a grandmother that collected string and would wrap it in a ball because she might need it someday? She collected string. My mother started this collection of salt and pepper shakers in 1925. As a young woman, people started giving her salt and pepper shakers. You bet. Salt and pepper shakers, all kinds. There are 1,100 pieces in here over her lifetime that she had collected. She's passed away, and I, being the only, child, I got them. And I said, I think I'll hang on to them, simply because it's an asset. Not a cash liquid asset, but an asset that if times got hard, or something health-wise came along, or we needed some hard cash reasonably quick, something like this could be sold and turned into hard cash. And most of those from the 1920s, 30s, and 40s are very valuable. And so that's the way we do it. It's a backup, a plan B for finances. That's one reason to have a hobby and a collection. Just because you don't have money does not mean that you can't collect things. I hit a number of old farmsteads and I started finding old iron knives. They don't make them anymore. Old iron knives, all kinds, all sizes, and all shapes. I leave the rust on them. I cleaned a few of them off, and when people came and they'd want to buy one, okay, I'd sell them a knife, and they'd always pick the rustiest ones because they said, we want to clean it up ourselves. We want to clean it up ourselves. And so that's what we did. And I've got some pretty nice knives, and I leave the rust on them so they can clean them themselves. Absolutely. You bet. And so that's what we do. Some with names on them, some without. Just a nice looking knives. You bet. All iron, because they don't make them anymore, because they didn't cost me anything to find them at homesteads. So even if I never sell another one, I'm ahead of the game. And that is a great way to collect something, an asset, without putting money into it. There are as many different collections as there are people on earth. Everybody has their own little niche that they kind of enjoy. When I go for walks, I quite often on the river find old bottles just laying around, and so I pick them up. Jars, bottles, things like that. Here's a local McCook, Nebraska dairy bottle. Or some of these others are old, rusted, and the glass, and old pop bottles, you find them once in a while. I've seen people have a $5 bill on them. No, I didn't see anybody rushing to buy them, but they're selling them for $5, just old pop bottles. There's all kinds of wine bottles and medicine bottles, things like that, or just your old canning jars, things like that you can pick up. Again, if you get them for little or nothing is one of the keys, especially if you're on the bottom of the pay scale, and if you have a little bit of room, things like this might be a pretty good asset for you to have in the future. And it gives you something to collect other than money and still have a financial benefit to it in the future, if at all possible. You're looking at some of the largest rattles my wife has. She has an awful lot more, but these are the largest ones. Big honkin' rattles. Absolutely. Some serious monsters out there. And for 43 years, working on the ranch, around livestock, you run into a rattler every once in a while. And most of the ranches that we've worked for, they demand you kill them on sight to protect their livestock, pets, and themselves, not counting yourself. But we take the rattles after we've killed them, cut their heads off so they're totally safe. Then you can take the rattles. If you don't, you may end up dead because a dead snake can still bite. I said a dead snake can still bite. But collecting these rattles, I've seen these rattles, big ones, go for $10 a piece. Now, I hunt arrowheads all the time, but I only have 2 that are from the Ice Ages. Experts say it's from the Ice Ages. You bet. Beautiful piece from the Ice Ages. Yep. And a scraper. You bet. a beautiful worked piece from the Ice Ages. They've offered me hundreds of dollars for each of them, and I turned it down. But on the day that the dark side would come to my family and we'd be forced to get some hard cash quick, things like this would work. Would work, absolutely. The idea is to enjoy your collection, but collect things that, and be thinking of the next step that you might need to profit from them, if at all possible. If at all possible. Spread out your collections and enjoy them today, and perhaps profit from them tomorrow. It's McCook's Mr. Bill. You have a good day.